Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. It's been 9 days since the last progression video and wow, I've been busy dying that is. In this video you're going to see the next 9 days of progression on the Challenger world. Last time I saw you guys I was level 262, so the next thing on my list was defeating normal Lucid and normal Will solo for the Challenger world points so I could get my own Ring of Restraint instead of having to rent that. Last week we had to rent it, but I'd rather save 100 million for something else. I got my Cygnus Knight finally to level 200 and completed the required quest to get the Empress blessing scale to level 30 and Blessing of the Fairy to level 20. I just did another strawberry farm to reach level 200 on the Thunderbreaker, so nothing too special there. And after that, it was time to grind a little bit. I think between level 262 and level 270, I did about 3.5–4 hours of grinding. Besides that, I do my dailies and 7 runs of Monster Park every day. And especially on Sunday, those Monster Parks give a huge amount of EXP if there is a Sunny Sunday Monster Park boost. First up is level 266, where we unlock Hotel Arcus and get the next set of those Afterburner rewards. Man, those rewards really stack up. This is such a nice event to get to level 270 quickly. Personally, I like grinding in Royal Library 6 in Cernium, doing level 262 and 266. And of course, don't forget to only grind with triple XP buffs, Monster Park gold pots, and don't forget about those MVP buffs that you can get from both the Challenger World shop and the Seeking Traces of Time event once a day. You can choose between either a stat buff or an EXP buff, so choose wisely if you plan to go bossing. Besides getting a new symbol, I didn't really upgrade anything gear-wise compared to the previous episode, but I also soloed normal Darknell and Heart Lotus then with the same gear. Without rental gear, I'm at 20 million combat power. Of course, when soloing these bosses, I did use rental gear. I don't really have any tips for Darknell besides keep moving and up jumping. That seems to help. Man, I hate this boss so much. Lotus I talked about in the previous video. By the way, it's important that you solo this boss in hard mode at least 3 times for the item burning gauge. I'll talk about that system a bit later in the video, but wow, that's an amazing addition to the item burning event. And after those fights were done, a few days later I reached level 268 on Sunday thanks to the crazy Monster Park EXP. Seriously, those 7 runs a day give insane EXP. And because I soloed Heart Lotus, I got a leveling potion, so level 268 to level 270 is absolutely free. Then we claim the remaining Beyond Burning items, so much free stuff, and this is also the point where things become a bit harder to follow for everyone. My apologies, because from this point I got lucky a few times, I think 3 times in total. So lucky number 1, from the Wednesday Monster Park box, I got a badge that's worth 3 billion mesos. And of course I'm going to sell this during Friday, during the cube sale that's happening in a few days out at this point in the video. And I'm also going to solo Heart Lotus and Heart Damien just regularly for my weekly boss fights, no need to rent gear anymore. This way we also get more traces so I can liberate faster. The first liberation mission is defeating Von Leon with only a weapon and secondary equipped. I wonder what's the lore reason that I have to be naked to fight these bosses. I have a hunch though that today was my lucky day since I got that badge, so I brought some cubes before the cube sale. I know, silly me, but I was feeling it, and I did get a slightly better pot on my emblem, but sadly for this day my luck ended right there, so kind of a waste of mesos. Next, me and my bossing party, we did our weekly runs, lots of fun, but sadly no drops. Oh, and I didn't film this, but I'm also slowly working on upgrading my familiars to epic, just leveling them up and then feeding them the same familiars to rank them up. I didn't really get anything yet besides this healing fam. The healing lines aren't even that great, but yeah, I mean, it's better than nothing. I also rented gear for this week's boss runs. Getting mesos is super duper important, so don't forget to do your Ursus runs as well. Thanks to all the rental gear, I again went from 20 million combat power to 33 million combat power. And because I still had the rental gear, after our weekly boss runs, I soloed Heart Lucid as well. Let's just say that this fight was slightly tighter than I'd hoped. Honestly, I don't think I should have been allowed to clear this boss, but we cleared anyway. I don't believe that timer though, but hey, we take those. We're getting to a bit more recent footage at this point. This week after reset, I defeated Princess No and finally got enough pieces to make my new secondary just in time for the cube sale. I'm so happy that I got that Monster Park emblem because I had to do some last minute arcane symbol upgrades, and that was expensive. If you want to solo Varus Hilla, you have to have enough arcane power to deal enough damage, so make sure to do those dailies and weeklies, same with the Black Mage. I got the unique potential scroll from the event store because I know my luck, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna blow all my mesos just trying to rank up my secondary. I rerolled with cubes that I found, and even with just 12% attack, it's already slightly better than what we had, so I equip it and wait for the cube sale. Then on Thursday evening I finally had some free time and did a 2-hour grind. And we got a compensation from Nexon as well for some server crash. Honestly, at this point I'm staying online, hoping that my character gets caught in some crash and rollback that I don't care about, just to get more compensation. The compensation meta is great. And then it was Friday, cube sale time. So if you want to rank up your items, always use the purple bright cubes, as they have a higher chance to rank up items. Bright cubes also have a slightly better chance to roll higher stats, by the way, like there's going to be a slightly higher chance of getting those prime lines with this one. Usually you reroll with the glowing cubes though until you get something that's worth saving, and then you use again the more expensive cubes. But on rank up I manifested a 21% attack already, so I guess that's lucky item number 2. Then I did another level up and I reached level 271 already. And I defeated Chaos Zakum, and this was pretty interesting. I could now finally extract the key. I'm gonna use that in a bit because I first needed more mesos. And fun fact, it took me 2 years of fighting Will to finally get a pitched item, a book from him. So I think I deserved getting a pitched item with like 56% drop rate on my second Heart Lotus solo clear. Alright? Sadly, the Black Heart will only last for 20 days, but by then I can use the Fairy Heart, so that's another very nice stat increase. That's lucky number 3. I guess I have 4 times I was lucky because there's one more coming up. I cubed my Emblem and my Fafnir hat. And with that I didn't really get lucky, actually wasted quite a few mesos, so there goes my Wednesday badge. Thanks, 3 billion mesos, let's see what we can get. First things first, I want to get my head to Legendary and started cubing some more, hoping for skill cooldowns and -2 second lines. This is important for Ren to deal more damage, because less cooldown time means you can spam out your skills more often. And in 7 cubes it went from unique to -2 seconds cooldown and strength. This was a good stack of cubes. Because I can tell you, in the final 2 cubes from the same stack, I got my Emblem to 21% attack and 30% ID. And since I have no fate and that I get, that's lucky number 4 right there, dang, that's some good lines. And since I have absolutely no fate and that I get a Golix Bell drop, I got a Golden Clover Bell to 17 stars and 18% strength for a minor stat increase. So let's just say that I want to use that Fafnir hat, but I don't want to lose the set effect from the item burning gear. You can actually apply the key that we got from Zakum to, for example, your hat slot. Then when you equip the Fafnir hat, you'll basically keep the same set effect from the item burning as if you had the item burning hat still equipped. You can turn off the set effect as well if in case you want to switch it around, like if you get enough Fafnir items or arcane gear or whatever, you can just turn it off if you want to. But this new gauge thing is actually super useful to keep the item burning set effect while slowly swapping out gear. If I would have an arcane glove with like crit damage potential or something like that, I would use it on that slot as well. And with all those gains, I was now able to solo Heart Magnus for the Liberation Quest. Wow, what a fight! Right now I have 29 million combat power, and after renting I was able to boost that to 44.9 million, almost 45 million combat power. Renting gear goes hard, man. So with my newfound power, I went and beat up this old lady. When fighting Vihila, I like to get stringed along as much as possible, because every time you cleanse, you're able to heal for a short while, your potion lock goes away. And boy, I sure do love healing. And with the Red Witch down, I could get the Platinum rank. I also soloed Chaos Slime and Chaos Gloom. Fighting these bosses sure is challenging sometimes, but it's a lot more fun than I expected. Honestly, I'm kinda used to getting carried by my friends and guild members. The boss fights themselves also really have improved a lot over the years though. Not as much random BS as it used to be, which is really good. My bossing party, we also tried our hands at Black Mage, and the first 2 stages went actually a lot better than we anticipated. But we'll definitely take him down next month for sure. And the final boss that I defeated solo was Heart Will. This boss fight. Stage 2, it's hard to survive, but okay, but stage 3, solo, hard, with this amount of CP, that's just brutal. I saved up like all my burst, dying so many times in stage 2, just so that in stage 3 I could just yeet everything at him, and I barely defeated him without the webs taking over. So, taking inventory, it's been 17 days since the start of Challenger World, and so far I reached level 271. I now have almost 30k Challenger World points. I'll hit 30k points next week with just doing daily quests. In my bossing gear, I now have 32 million combat power without any rentals, but also without that cooldown hat equipped. I still need to check, do some testing to see if that 2-second cooldown is enough to get like a decent damage increase compared to the item burning hat. I also upgraded my Arcane Seal, by the way. It's now epic with +7 on the upgrades. And just as a reminder, it's very important to solo those bosses from item burn for the item burning event gauge, so that you can more easily transition towards other items as you find them. And that's the update for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful time. I hope everyone's progressing along nicely. And I'll be back next week for another update video. Hopefully we get some more pitched items or some arcane items. That would be sick. Thanks for watching. May all your drops be blessed, may all your Star Force be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, special thanks to our members making these videos possible. Special thanks to Niels de Comic, Rama Waar, Sebastian Hanoi, Kaudi Mora, Wyan Lee, Backspace OTI, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Knifesu, Cloudfix, Michael Menchaka, Ratius, Betrayal 1489, Silvio Nato, Striker Elk, Ricer RU, Max Bernhardt, The Passenger, Scotty Flies Fast, Only, Spotsty, Snufflepop, Dewey Tran, Connie Wu, Domikirch Nehammer, Dex Zoo, Dante Victory, The Wolfdrake, Lord Fazil, Matthew Dev, Tils Kurspet, DVNCA, and Schwandro. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling.